This time we'll be tasting the Vecchia Romagna Italian brandy.
Hi, I'm Jo, this is Maximo. We are Tibbles and Treats. Whoa, today we have a brandy.
We have an Italian brandy. This is the Vecchia Romagna Etichetta Nera, or roughly translated to Etichetta means a label and Nera means black in Italian. Yes, so I am of Italian heritage, so I do speak a little bit of the Italian vernacular and can translate the odd word. Probably mangle the pronunciation, but I do sort of manage okay. So this particular tipple was actually inherited from my father, who passed away about 3 years ago. I would suspect that this is quite a nice tipple. It was probably gifted to him, I'd say. He's probably had it for quite a few years before it was passed on to me. So I'd say it could be up to 10 years old, unopened. Now, Jo, I've done a bit of research about liquor that's been bottled, and basically liquor in an unopened bottle has pretty much an indefinite shelf life. This has, I guess, been aided because it's been in a metal tin.
Yeah, so it's dark.
So it's dark, so I don't think any lights got to it.
Yep.
So it should be reasonably as fresh as the day it was bottled. Let's hope so. If you do open it, it has
very fancy tin.
Fancy tin, and if you do open it, the shelf life of liquor is around about sort of 2 years, and after that it starts to lose some of its flavour and some of the colour, especially if it's been exposed to a lot of sunlight. So it is a quite fancy sort of tin.
It is.
And it's sort of an unusual, what would you call that? It's circular, yet
it's triangular.
Triangular at the same time.
Triangular, definitely.
Yes, bottle.
Yes, quite unique.
So this is quite an old distillery. I think the year it originated was 1820. So this has got a bit of age behind it, and also it's unusual insofar as you don't really hear of any Italian brandies. Certainly French brandies, perhaps some Australian brandies, but it's unusual to have a Italian brandy. But I guess a lot of countries have their own brandies.
So you've never tasted this before?
I can't recall that I have. No. So it'll be
back in the day, possibly.
Possibly.
Long time ago.
I might have sneaked one, perhaps, in the day, as you do. But yes, interesting. And for whatever reason, I've always had a connotation that sort of some of the Italian spirits that my parents used to have were not the best, a bit sort of suboptimal.
Suboptimal.
Or cheap and nasty, I guess. So I've always sort of had that at the back of my mind. And this particular bottle, to buy it new, it is about 70 Australian dollars. So it's not sort of plonk.
No, not cheap.
Sort of territory.
I'd like to go ahead and open this, but do we have a problem here?
I'm not sure. What's
this little?
I don't know. Does it?
Phew.
Oh, that's quite.
Just a misleading trick.
It's quite easy. It's Oh, it's got a strange pour. Excuse me. So this particular distillery and brandy is distilled in Italy from Trebbiano grapes, which is a local variety. It's aged in small oak casks for a total of 3 years, and then it's distilled again and put into large barrels for another couple of years, and then blended. So it is a blended brandy. It's made in Bologna in Italy. That's the region it's from. And this particular distillery was actually bombed in 1943 during the Second World War, and apparently all that was left of the distillery was the underground cellars and some of the old casks. So they've had to start from scratch again. So shall we
Yes.
pour?
I think you can attempt to pour from that.
Yes, it's.
I don't want to make a mess.
We'll see how we go.
I'll let you make
So
the mess.
it's quite a rich sort of dark colour, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of a bit like perhaps a rum.
That's enough.
Well, it's making a distinctive glug.
You know, it's just the shape of the bottle that
I know, but it's
creates the glug.
It's quite a satisfying glug, if I say so myself. So let's.
It's quite dark, really.
It is quite dark. It's sort of quite I guess a woody colour. Sort of it almost looks like a sherry or something like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is definitely getting towards that sort of colour, isn't it?
And I'll read the tasting notes later. We've got them, but I just want to see what it's like and have a maybe a surprise of.
It's a little bit fruity.
Quite sort of delicate. Is your mouth open or closed for the aromas?
I alternate.
It smells quite nice, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
It does. Fruity. Maybe some vanilla. Maybe some raisins or something like that. Certainly. It's a delightful colour. It's got some, what do you call those things on the bottle? Legs? It's quite, it's quite appealing. Michelle. It's good. It's got sort of a delicate.
It tastes like
fruity.
It tastes a bit like a whiskey to me.
Like a Scotch whiskey, like a single malt.
Well, my palate is more tuned into gin than
It
whiskey,
is.
I would say.
It's very whiskey-like, isn't it? It's let's have another go. Initially on the palate it's quite light and fruity and delicate. The longer it stays in the mouth, the more it builds, and it's got quite a spicy finish to it, hasn't it?
I'm finding it hard to pull out the flavours, actually.
It's
Is that just an excuse for having another drink?
I don't know. I think there's it's quite complex. It's a damn sight better than I thought it would be. This is quite quaffable, really, isn't it? Quite quaffable.
Quite quaffable. Where do you get these things from? I actually can't describe what it tastes like. It's very nice, actually.
It's very nice.
It's very nice.
So this is a 700ml bottle, and it's 38% alcohol. So that's a bit sort of less than.
Wow, I would have thought it was more. From
I would've-
tasting it, it tastes like there's a bit of a kick to it.
Yeah, there is, a bit of spice, a bit of pepperness. It's got quite that sort of long, spicy finish. So look, I'll read some of the tasting notes
Yeah, maybe
that I've been able to.
if you read the tasting notes, maybe I'll be able to pick
and
them
while
out.
I do that, if you could put in a couple of the cubes of ice, that would be fantastic.
I could do that.
So the colour is characterised by a beautiful, luminous, coppery antique gold.
That's colourful.
It is.
Fancy
the
language,
marketing
isn't it?
people have been at work again.
Yeah.
The nose, hints of tropical fruit such as papaya and pineapple. blended with vanilla, cinnamon and cloves. Vanilla and crisp notes are combined with caramelized baked pear in a mix of refined flavours. Baked pear. The palate is smooth, complex and rounded with hints of sweet spices such as vanilla and cinnamon, in addition to strong notes of clove, with a lingering aftertaste. Well, I'd agree with all of that, I think. Also, online, this is best served with on the neat or on the rocks. That's the recommendation of how this can be or should be.
What else would you serve brandy with?
I don't know. I've always had brandy in sort of Brandy tumblers and sort of swishing it around and letting the sort of the air get to it and warming it up. But I don't think this needs warming. I think it drinks more like a single malt
It does taste.
and a good single malt than a brandy.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I had a brandy though.
No, would have been maybe winter. We are a couple of weeks away from summer, so
a few days actually.
a few days. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be good to taste like a brandy and a whiskey back to back, because I think I've forgotten actually what a brandy tastes like. Because for me, I can just taste, it's just like whiskey.
You should. Have you tasted it with?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah?
What do you think? Different?
Much smoother. I'd be happy to drink this on the rocks, I think.
Yeah, it's easier drinking with the ice in it, for sure.
It is.
I can't pull out any of those flavours though.
Maybe vanilla?
I think
I don't know
when I
about-
first
I don't know about
smelt it, it
clove.
was fruity.
Fruity.
But I can't pick that out anymore.
It's still fruity. It's actually quite aromatic. Maybe there are some cloves and... No, I'm not sure. Pear? It's certainly fruity
I mean,
and...
I can usually pull a flavour
out.
or two out,
No.
but I'm really struggling with this for some reason.
And maybe the origins of this is it's a spirit distilled from grapes rather than malt that most of our other whiskies have been of late. So I think that there's probably
Interesting.
there's probably a different chemistry involved, different chemicals, different oils perhaps that still sort of even though there's a distillation process, I think some of the oils are sort of carried across into the...
I think the undertones of the flavour would follow through for sure.
Well, this has been quite a surprise. I thought, well, I've had this in my cupboard for a while, and I've been, not really enthused to open it and give it a go.
It takes up a bit of space in the cupboard after all.
It does.
A little bit inconvenient.
And even without the tin, which I usually dispose of the outer packaging.
When it's cardboard, what do you do
Yeah.
with the tin? You can use it, put stuff in.
What, biscuits?
Biscuits. No biscuits.
No biscuits. No, this has been quite a revelation, Joe, I think.
Interesting.
It is. Oh, look, I'll be happy to add this to my...
I'm sure your friends wouldn't mind giving this a little taste.
Yes, the Vecchia Romagna, which means Old Roman.
Ah, you didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
Old Roman.
Yeah, Vecchia means old, and Romana means from the Roman province of Italy. And Etichetta means label.
We covered that, I got it.
And Nera.
Label.
Black label.
Black label, yeah.
So I've certainly enjoyed this.
Yeah, so have you tried a brandy recently? Has it been a surprise? What did you like about it? Did it taste like whiskey? Or is that just me being weird?
I don't know. It's certainly this is not like any brandy that I've had before. No,
Yeah.
it's very
It's interesting.
very Scotch-like, isn't
Yep.
it? Yeah.
Yep.
Whiskey rather than a brandy. But if you've liked this, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We endeavour to pump out at least a video once a week. Will probably be
sometimes more.
Yeah, sometimes more. And on that note,
Cheers.